So let's start at the beginning, shall we? This is the Six of Cups. And usually the Six of Cups kind of depicts some information coming to you from the past. It could be an old relationship, might be knocking at your door. But this does really feel like you're going to have a sudden bump into someone that you haven't seen for many, many years. Cups are emotions, so it may be a past lover, past girlfriend, past boyfriend that you may bump into sometime in the month of August if you haven't already done so. But it does look like with all the changes that you've made that this might just be a test. The Fool is crossing you here, and the Fool can stand for take a chance. Don't be afraid to look foolish type of thing, but it also can be kind of like a warning. Don't make the same mistakes twice. You know, if something has visited you from the past that you ended, it's knocking on your door again, take heed. So I'm feeling that the Fool this time means to take heed. Do not recreate history from the past. So move on from any past relationships that you have been fine releasing. But the Fool is there this time as kind of a warning. So when the past comes knocking on your door, remember some things may still be the same. You might want to take a chance at a friendship, but this does feel like be careful. Know that some things from the past are still there. So that is the Fool. What is above you is the Three of Swords. And this is really kind of the heartache card. This can mean an affair. This can mean someone has passed over, someone has died, and that you're kind of heartsick about it. But it does feel like something from the past that you are processing through. So this may be a heartache from the past, a breakup that might have just happened, some change in relationship. It does feel like a relationship space, a love relationship space. And this may have been somebody passed on as well that you are grieving. It is above here, so it does look like you are processing it. You're not pushing it down. You're feeling the grief. And the only way we can move past grief is to really honestly feel it and kind of go through that process instead of shoving it down. So if some grief is rearing its ugly head, go ahead, Sagittarius, please feel it and release it, because you have other things that are on your plate coming up in the future. So it's really important to take this time to really feel those raw emotions, and they do make you feel a little bit vulnerable, Sagittarius. So it does feel like you push down some of the more vulnerable processes so you can keep going. But it does feel like once you are out of the other side of this grief that you can kind of pick the ball up and create new and wonderful things happening in your life. So it does feel this is in the top position, so you're right there in the thick of it. What is in the past is the Two of Pentacles, and Pentacles can stand for money. They can stand for education, and it's usually some kind of movement, and it's usually on the earthly plane, since discs are the earth signs. So this may be getting your finances back in order is what it's feeling like to me, Sagittarius. So you may have just had to prioritize kind of like out of the blue. Just recently there may be been a bill, or the IRS, or something that you owed that you weren't prepared for. Could be car work, plumbing work, something that kind of all of a sudden out of the blue kind of took control of your finances a little bit. But it does look like you're coming back to center, you're coming back to balance. It is in the past position, so it does feel like whatever that all of a sudden drain on your finances is not there presently, or at least not to the extent that it is, and you're coming back to center a little bit more with your finances. It could have meant prioritizing your finances a little clearer and kind of tightening on your financial belt in order to either save for the future or come back into balance. What is happening in the present time is the Hermit. And the Hermit, unlike the Four of Discs, the Four of Discs is also kind of an alone again, naturally card. And the Four is more of an isolation, kind of pulling yourself out of the public eye and avoidance. Whereas the Hermit is one just needing some alone time, some time to think, go up on the mountaintop, meditate, get your head right. So it does feel like that you are doing a little more self-care. So the Hermit is really more about self-care, taking the time to make you a priority. I know that was a theme for the last couple of months for mostly all signs because of the drastic astrological shifts and changes that are happening right now. But this Hermit feels like it's time for a little more self-care. So schedule in that time, you time, to just get the clutter out of your head and all the demands and, all the have-tos. Just plan some just alone time to do whatever you want to do. And that's super important for you right about now, Sagittarius, because it does look like the next couple of months are going to amp up, that your attention will be kind of scattered and pulled in many different directions. So take that time presently, Sagittarius, to give to yourself, schedule a time on the mountain just for you or with your partner, but it does feel like it's time to schedule some very important time for you to get in touch with the God of your heart and just clear your head a little bit. The Knight of Pentacles is here in the future position, and Pentacles can be earth signs. That's Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. If this is a person, this does feel like more of a project being kind of propelled forward. This Knight is faced in this direction, and it really feels like you have done a lot of work putting things into order and prioritizing. This may be a project at work that is coming to an end, or that is you're starting to see the benefits of this, all this hard work that you've put into this project. It does feel like there's some money involved in here, so it may be that you're being recognized for your contribution to a project, or it may be a project that you've been trying to get off the ground. It doesn't necessarily have to do with money or work in general. It can be, writing a book, finally taking that time to connect with your art, go out dancing, whatever it is. But it does look like a project that you've been putting some time and effort into is about to take off, if it hasn't already. And it does look like it's on a forward trajectory. So all that hard work is going to pay off very, very soon for you. But it does feel like there may be an earth sign involved in the success as well. So it may be a buddy that you're starting a dancing class with, but it does feel like an earth sign, Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo. Knights are usually someone under 30 or someone that has a childlike spirit if they are over the age of 30. The Queen of Wands is down here. This is a fire sign. This can stand for you. This could be an Aries, a Leo, or a Sagittarius. And as I'm tuning into this, it feels more and more like it is representation of you, Sagittarius, even if you are in a male body. But it is right next to or along the line of the Hermit here. So it really feels like making you a priority is very important. It's very important. It's been calming your soul when you've been taking the time for you or been meaning to take the time for you. So schedule in, schedule in some time to just do whatever the heck you want to do. No have-tos, no, for the kids, for the partners, for the friends, but taking that time to really find your zen, find that quiet space within you, and that will feed your soul a little bit coming up. It does look like going into fall, the activity level will be a little bit more demanding on your time, and you may be pulled in a number of directions. So you have two cards here that kind of are telling me time to slow down a little bit. Take this time, even though it feels like you're floating a little bit. And I know fire signs, they like to move things around, but it does feel like take this time, take the opportunity, float a little bit, enjoy some solitude, and schedule it in if you don't have solitude in your world right now. So the next card is the Eight of Pentacles, and this is really feel like you're gaining knowledge, or you're going back to school, or you're taking a class of some kind and upping your skills or honing your skills in some kind of way. And it could be as simple as going on the internet and doing some research for an upcoming activity or a goal that you would like to meet. It can also mean, going to classes or going to conferences for your work, but it does look like you will be gleaning or gaining more information about a project or a skill that you would like to add to your duffel bag of tools and skills. So don't be surprised if something comes up either at work or something's offered to you to take a class that will further your growth either through your professional work or through your personal. The sun is here. This is been coming up a lot in this position, and I think 2 or 3 of the other readings that I have done. And the sun is new beginnings. It's like when we get a fresh start. When we've done the hard work, you get a clean slate. So it does look like you're being rewarded by spirit for speaking your truth, setting those boundaries. For some of you, you may have changed jobs. You may have moved homes, released relationships that were toxic or unhealthy for you. But it does look like you will be rewarded, or if you've not already been rewarded, with the sun, with new beginnings. It does feel like new projects will be coming to you. These flowers here are kind of lighting up for me. And, it does feel like asking for help over the last couple of months have really suited you. And you've been able to connect with people that give you the information that you need to further you. So take all that information that you're collecting, put it into your new projects, give it to yourself. But it does look like new beginnings. You're starting to be rewarded for all those difficult changes that you've really embraced. Setting boundaries is very difficult for all signs, but it does look like you are being rewarded for doing some self-care and some healing, and you are healing from some things from the past. And what's coming through to me is that there was a big heartache from the past, and it is feeling more like a relationship that didn't work, that you're kind of coming out of that now, and then you've allowed yourself to feel the grief, the betrayal, or whatever the negative experience was for you. You are now bringing it to the surface because you want to get rid of it. You no longer want it to hold you back in your highest growth, especially in relationship space. So it does look like you're taking a step up in your relationship, not only with yourself, but with others, being clear about your boundaries. You know now what works in an interpersonal relationship, in a love relationship. You know what you want and what you don't want. So for those of you that have not been in a relationship for quite a while because of this heartache, it does feel like you're opening your heart up and you're going to give love a chance again. For those of you in relationship, it does look like your relationship has taken a step up in growth. You have come to some compromises and some understanding for forward growth. So it's kind of a new beginning for many of you, whether you're in relationship, whether you're seeking one or releasing one, or just improving the current one that you're in. So it does feel like you've opened your heart a little bit and you've moved past some of the boundaries that you've put on your own heart from the pains of the past. The Hangman is here, the culmination card. This is a great card. This is like looking at the world completely differently than you have. It's the same life that you have. It's your perspective has shifted. So it does look like with some of the challenges that you've gone through, and it does feel like over the last 18 to 24 months has been very challenging, some financial, some emotional. But with all those challenges that you've met and mastered and moved through and just kept going, you're a very very diligent sign. You just keep going. But it does feel like your shift in perspective has helped you find the calmness in your heart. It does feel like how this glowing here in the head region feels like you've gotten some divine information. So don't be surprised if you're getting some information when you are dreaming in your dream space. It does feel like you are downloading some information from spirit, just in kind of a general way on how to move forward, do things a little differently. It does look like you hit some frustration during this process, but now you're in a much calmer space, a little happier with life, a little happier with the process. And it does look like you have released yourself from some past habits that didn't work, whether it's an addiction or just defensiveness, you know, all those kind of negative emotions that are gifted to us by our parents that we don't even realize we're doing, that we just kind of perpetuate them and move them on to our children or the people that we're around. But it does look like you have taken a conscious decision not to do things like you have in the past that haven't worked for you. So congratulations, Sagittarius. That is a very big move. On the other side here is a 10. 10 is the end of a process. This is the discs. This is can be financial gain. This could be abundance on the material level. It doesn't necessarily mean finances. It could be, you know, just getting out in the world and enjoying the world a little bit more. But it does look like you have found a calmness and found kind of a theory that works is what I'm feeling. But it does look like things are calming down a little bit for you, Sagittarius, as you have done some of the hard work and gotten some answers. I'm feeling some I'm seeing the medical insignia in the middle of my my sixth chakra here. So I am seeing that you may have embraced some better health care, gotten some answers on maybe some issues that had been bothering you from the past, or it could be just as simple as switching your diet to something that's a little bit healthier for you, taking a walk once a day, something like this. But it does feel like you have embraced huge amounts of change and are feeling a little bit better about the status quo in general now that you've made the shift. Not only a commitment to yourself, to prioritize yourself, but a commitment to better health, and that may include diet and relieving yourself of some stressful situations that weren't working. The Page of Pentacles is here, and that is I'm feeling that this is messages. This can be good news. It can be news about money, material goods, about ambition. So you may be getting recognized for all your hard work that you've been doing. You've been very diligent over the past couple of months, really seeking those answers, doing the hard work that you kind of maybe ignored or put on the back shelf at the first part of the year. So it does look like you have embraced those changes, and now you're starting to reap the rewards and the benefits. And the Page of Pentacles really can be good news regarding material goods or ambition, getting honored for your hard work. So that is your general reading, Sagittarius, for the month of August. And I've got some new angels and abundance cards here. This is a Doreen and Grant Virtue card set, and you know, she kind of brings it on home with one or two words. So have courage to ask for and accept help. I know that is a lifelong challenge for you, Sagittarius, because you're very capable, but it's okay to ask for a little leg up. No one can do this lifetime on their own successfully. We all need a little bit of help every once in a while. So that is what I'm picking up from that, and I will read the description too. This is I'm new to these cards as well, so I will read the description. Words of abundance. So keep that mental that mental soliloquy in your head, positive, of abundance, of success. Don't let that negative creep in and sabotage all your good work. So the first one, have courage to ask for and accept help. Asking for help is a sign of strength, as is accepting it as it is offered to you. Very often when you ask God for help, prayers are answered through other people. Be sure to accept this assistance as well as give it to others as you are guided. So continue to keep that beautiful heart open, Sagittarius. I know you guys really are very helpful out in the world, so don't be afraid to receive as well as gift. And words of abundance here is you have the ability to instantly manifest abundance by choosing powerfully positive words. Always describe your own and the world's economic situation in loving and optimistic terms. And that is what you attract for yourself and others.